Okay. All I wanted to say was that it is good for us to specialize in different causes, in mind control, in health issues, in health issues which are caused by nature, in health issues which are caused by man. And it's good to have these specialties. However, if we do not have a common point where we all act on something, our specialties will be of little use to us because perhaps we will not be in a position to share this information with others once the control of the internet happens. There will be restricted access to the internet, and I've been hearing more and more information about that from the government level. So I highly recommend that we do find a common point of action, and I recommend something, a system that is simple, an action that is simple, that is safe, that means it's not illegal, simple, safe, sound, that means it makes sense to do it, that means that we believe it's going to be effective, but something that is surefire, something that is sure to have an effect depending on if there is a critical number of people participating in this solidarity action. Now, this number does not have to be in the millions, though I wish it was. It does not have to be in the millions. When my son and I helped to prevent fluoridation from our city of 350,000 people, we were a handful of people to do this. We were not 100,000, we were not 1,000, we were not 100. We were 5 or 6. And our strategy was simple and safe and based on sound information, and it could not be disputed. We made the councillors regret their decision, and so the final vote was 16 against fluoridation and 2 for fluoridation. It was an incredible victory. Now this can be done at a provincial level, as well as municipal. It could be done at a national level, because people like Gandhi have done something similar at the national level, and it's succeeded. It was simple and safe and sound and legal and all that. Now, we have limited time to get together, I believe, to do some kind of action. And I think the simplest thing we can do now is turn on a green light in front of your house at night, all night, so that the people walking by, the cars driving by, your neighbors start wondering, why is there a green light? He's lived there for 10 years. There was never a green light. I better go see him. And once the people see you, approach you, then you can tell them about an action for solidarity, for peace. In other words, the absence of wars, especially the war with Iran, because it will affect us all. I'm not taking any sides. I'm not saying that Iran is bad or Israel is bad or the United States is bad. The truth is, the leaders that want this are bad, and they're evil, and there is no good reason why they want this. It is not to benefit most of the people. It's to the benefit of some of the people. And we all know the proof of that. For instance, President Obama spent almost $1 trillion to try to stimulate jobs, and he didn't give it to the people and to the small businesses and as loans, or because the small business is the economic and employment engine of a nation. They're the ones who hire the most people. They're the ones who buy the most computers and papers, and they pay the high price for it because they don't buy 1,000, they buy 5 of them, and so they buy 5, at full price. So if anything drives a nation, it is the small and medium-sized business. He did nothing for the people. He did nothing for the small businesses. It all went to the bankers, and not only the bankers, the elite bankers, the biggest banks. And what did they do with this? They bought the smaller banks. 700 banks in the United States are now at risk of defaulting, and they're now at risk of going bankrupt. Many of them have already, and we know some of them that have.
Yes.
So what happens when these small banks go bankrupt? The bigger banks buy them out. And so they develop strength. They develop a monopoly over the money. Now, so my action is simple. This is a first step. If we can do this action together, just turn on a green light. Maybe this light, we will be the light of the world. We will maybe guide people like a lighthouse towards a destination that has no rocks, towards a safe harbor. And the risk is too great. Right now, battleships from the UK and the US are meeting at the Strait of Hormuz. Most of the people of the world don't know that. Those who go on the internet do, well, those who care. Because it is available, this information. It is not being shared by the mainstream media because the mainstream media are controlled by 5 or 10 men. And so, they don't want us to know about that, to worry about that, because we're not qualified. They feel that we are not important, and they govern us just like a governess governs the children that she keeps. Yep. And they believe that that's what government should do. But the citizens of the world want peace. They don't want to blow up babies in Iran. Too many babies have been blown up in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Libya, in the whole Middle East. The whole region is on fire. Yes. And so I urge you, keep your specialty. If it is mind control that you're interested in, if it's chemtrails, fluoridation, you name it, keep that specialty. We need the specialists who have the information, who have the contacts, the experts, the gurus in the subject, who will be able to answer the questions. But it takes more guts than brains to make change happen in this world, because if it was brains alone, then all the scientists with the PhDs in the world would change the world and make it a better place, and they're not. And even brains doesn't even pay that much, because PhDs in universities don't get all that much money. But they're not helping us. It's the common people that, like you and me, that will reach to each other and contact the rich, the poor, the intellectuals, the experts, the gurus. We need them all. We need every single soul, because we're trying to avert a world crisis which may be imminent in the next few weeks. The Americans do not send equipment to a region if they do not intend to use it. Everybody knows that. And so they're sending battleships and submarines, and so is the UK. They are not going to be sending thousands of sailors and Navy men over there, and Marines, just for taking pictures of the battleships. They plan to use it. Yes. Now, and a lot, we should not be, Iran should not be intimidated by the United States, because they are inferior in terms of technology, yes. But look at the Vietnamese, these jungle people, digging holes in the ground. The Americans, with all their fancy technology, the helicopters, and, you know, they couldn't wipe them out. They lost. They had to leave in disgrace. They were losing too many American soldiers. And these Vietnamese, they kept on fighting. There was a human factor there that was bigger than technology. And I surely hope, I don't care who wins. I just don't want there to be any war, that's all. And we can prevent it. And I think a first step, simple step, is to turn on the green lights. And if we have just one city, one town that goes all green, that city, that town will be a beacon of hope, a lighthouse of hope for the rest of us. And I'm happy to devote my time and attention to help those cities that really, really want to go green. And that's my message.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm with this. You know, when I saw your first posts on Facebook, I immediately I even changed my profile picture with a green light bulb, that the people know what's happening, that they ask, why did you change that? What is it for, and everything. And this is it. I mean, when you put a green light outside, people will ask you, yeah, there's no more Christmas. Why you still use green lights, you know, like a Christmas tree, you know, with colors and everything. And then you can answer, and you can inform them, you can tell them about what is it. And this is what we have to do. We have to tell the people what's really going on, that they research, that they contact us, for example, or Google. I mean, the internet is worldwide. They can get all this information which we cannot watch on TV, which is censored, which is not even talked sometimes, you know. So people have to wake up, to have to face the reality, and yeah, and we have to be together, because, like you told us some minutes ago, that there are only some people ruling the world. Let's say like this, you know, the people on the top of the new world order. But we are billions of innocent people, billions of people like you and me, with families, with babies, with friends, who not even want a war. I mean, it's so crazy that, I mean, they use all our taxes, all the money for making their own system, which we don't like that they do it. I mean, all this money could be used for education, for helping, for stopping food worldwide. Even the Vatican, they have millions and millions of dollars every day, what they gain with all their stuff, you know. I mean, it's so crazy that we are spending so much money for something what we not even want, and this has to stop. And we have also to go out of the system little by little. Don't buy too much outside. Don't fall in the trap that when they announce, yeah, there's a new iPad outside, the new version with 2 cameras or whatever, I want it, because with every dollar or peso or euro what you spend, you're just giving them to feed. I call the New World Order the beast, and we have as long as we don't feed the beast, or let's say, if we still feeding the beast will exist and will be very satisfied and can continue their plans, whatever they want to do, and we have to stop that. We have to stop to feeding the beast, you know. So that's why I think your project with the green light bulbs is a very, very good idea, and I by myself, I adopted it also on my Facebook. Also, I'm informing the people. Now you're online, I'm online, we are talking this, and I hope also the people will talk about it, and when I edit it and sub it to YouTube, that they share the links, that the people start to know about what is it, and yeah, and follow the good way, and don't continue to drive the bad way, which is made by the New World Order. Because if you don't do anything, we also give them the power that they can continue. So we have to do something. Okay. Yeah.
Now, I would like to mention also,
yeah,
I have no hatred to any group of people of socio-economic class. My message now is to the people who are richer than most of us, and who don't have to worry about day-to-day living expenses. My message to them is this. Now, do you want to be on the side of truth or on the side of lies? Do you think you can still continue to prosper, you know, health-wise and economic on the side of lies? I'll give you an example. Go see your medical doctor. Ask them if you should take the vaccine for, you know, certain viruses like H1N1. And if they say no to you in private, then you will know the truth. You will know that the government is not telling us to do something good. So don't trust me, trust your own good sense, and see if we're telling the truth. Now, this is just health-wise. Now, as you know, what I'm asking you is this. If you are interested in your own community, wherever you are, if there are people interested in this green light project, approach them. Buy some green bulbs for them. And also, if you're interested, we have some posters that you can post in your city, all over town, if you can afford it in full color, if you have a color printer. We have bumper stickers you can stick on your, you know, the friends' cars. If you can produce a few thousand for the people in your neighborhood, and maybe distribute it in each person's mailbox if you want to, have somebody volunteer for that. I'm sure they will. Now, also we have a calendar that we're making regarding this issue of truth, of peace. And this calendar will feature the homes of people in different countries who have turned their green light on. And we can make sure and customize this calendar to make sure that the first month on January is your month, as somebody in your own community. It could be your very own house if you want. So my message to the wealthy is, please be on the side of truth, and please support those in your local community who are fighting for truth. If you're not sure what the truth is, search it on the internet, discuss it with people. But it's important because, as you know, if we do have this war in the Middle East going on, it will affect your business. It will affect your finances. The price of oil will go skyrocketing. It can go, in Canada, it could go over $2 a liter, maybe $3 a liter. What does that mean? That means the cost of food is going up. What can that mean? It could mean a devaluation of your money in your bank. Your dollar can be worth less. If your dollar is worth less and it costs you more to live, more to buy food, more to drive your car, less to pay your mortgage on your house, this will affect you personally. Even if they don't send a nuclear missile here over your country, you will be affected economically. But if there is a nuclear war, even if it is a regional nuclear war in the Middle East, the radiation fallout will go around the globe and eventually reach you somehow. As we know from the Fukushima nuclear power plant incident, the radiation that leaked out of Japan is now off the western coast of North America. It is measurable, it is being measured, and it has gone as far as the Midwest of the United States. Eventually it will reach Europe. It will go around the world, because the world, she turns around and around, and the winds that would turn around with it. So, can you imagine a nuclear war? Israel has 200 nuclear warheads. Pakistan has 300. We all know that Russia and the United States have them in the thousands, and I don't know how many the UK has, but it certainly is in the number 3 position. So we cannot afford that to happen. You cannot afford that to happen, because radiation kills the rich as easily as it kills the poor. And if the price of oil goes up, this will affect your money in your bank. And, you know, nobody, as you know, like in the Depression of the 30s, a lot of rich people became homeless and slept in the streets. Some of them committed suicide.
Exactly. Now,
all this can be averted, and this could be the first year of world peace, the year that there are no wars at all. Now that the war in Afghanistan is being phased out, Canadian soldiers have left. All the other soldiers are leaving. Now the war in Iraq is over from the American perspective. All the soldiers have left. Now we are in 2012. It is a good opportunity to start off the year with a clean slate. No wars, no new wars anywhere. And that is, this foreign policy of war or no war is not for our leaders to decide. It's for us to decide. If they don't have the courage to ask us in a referendum if we want to destroy people in that part of the world with our taxpayer money, then the people have to have the courage to tell the government what it wants. Turning the green light is better than voting.
Exactly.
If you have a whole village full of green lights, this will get media attention. They will have to report on it even if they don't want to. Even if the media is told by their masters somewhere in the elite world not to report it, the people will laugh at them and the media will lose all credibility because it's not reporting on an important phenomenon that people are voting with light bulbs. And so please join us, and if you need support, call us. And you know how to reach Hans, you know how to reach me.
Yes, of course. I have a little question. When we were talking privately some days ago, you were talking about with one atomic bomb that you could cause earthquakes worldwide. Could you tell us about what could happen and where is the place and some... yeah, continue.
Okay. Now, there is a branch of geology that studies plate tectonics and fault lines. Fault lines are the lines on the earth that have high probability of earthquakes. Now, it so happens that Iran is situated at the center of the three main fault lines. They intersect in Iran. If anybody drops an atomic bomb there in Iran, this could set earthquakes down up to Africa, and it could send them west up to Europe, and it could send them east all the way up to Japan. And if it hits Japan, of course, Japan is connected to the Ring of Fire, which is it's a fault line that goes all around North America, the western coast of the United States. Now, let's... so not only will it affect us economically, not only will the nuclear radiation fallout affect us, our health, but the earthquakes that it can set into motion, the volcanoes that it can set exploding and spitting off lava, may affect our very homes as well too.
Yes.
And these are all possible. Everybody knows that we've been having a great number of tsunamis around the world. Japan was one of them, Sri Lanka. Everybody knows about that. Everybody knows about the earthquakes. So these are common. Anybody over the age of 5 years old knows that earthquakes do happen quite often. Now, if we shake this fragile earth with more bombs, it is bound to create a wave that is so disastrous that I don't know, maybe just Hawaii will be spared. There's got to be just a few places in this world that will be spared from total destruction.
Yeah.
And some people, it is a known fact, Americans know this, but it is a known fact in many, many countries of the world, the elite have bought themselves condominiums inside underground shelters. They have been bought and paid for. If there is any danger, these people think they will be saved. If there is an earthquake, they will not be saved. They're going to be buried alive. Okay? And if they think they're protected from radiation, if they think they're protected from people trying to get at them, believe me, there's no protection, not even the big bunkers that you may have spent $3 million for your condo bunker. So, I recommend that rich and poor, we look at the seriousness of this situation, which, if started, nobody can stop it. Only God himself. Okay? And God has been silent these days, so I wouldn't count on God helping us quickly, unless we all ask him together, but I doubt that's going to happen. But we can do something. We have the power.
Yes, it's up to us.
I thank you, Hans. Yeah.
I thank you so much too, and this message will, I hope it will reach a lot of people, because it's really important to know the truth and to know what's happening. Also, I mean, you were talking about the earthquakes, but there are volcanoes, very, very dangerous volcanoes like the St. Helens. You know, when this is getting exploded, I mean, I was watching by myself some documentaries, and just with this volcano, the whole atmosphere will be full of this smoke, of this how you say, I mean, it will cover the whole world, and we will face really a catastrophic event, you know, and this could really change the world. And I mean, it's not just one country that could be suffering of this. Everybody will suffer, at least financially. I mean, the rich people also will lose their factories, their income, and whatever. I mean, we are all connected on this, so we have to stop wars to don't make it worse than it is. I mean, nature is by itself is very powerful, but if mankind starts to interact and doing something bad to the nature always wins. And I mean, yeah, thank you so much for watching us, and yeah, we have to keep going on to make our world peace army. It's time to change history. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Hans.
Okay.